Hi everyone, welcome to Group C of the RO16. I'm your caster Big Fan. Today we will have a PvZ, JangBi versus Orion. First player up, JangBi, our Protoss, pretty well known. Overall stats, not too bad. Now one thing to do note is that I did take a look at his overall stats because I believe these are more specific to the MSL. And his VZ unfortunately was subpar 50, so there's a chance he will have quite a bit of difficulties against his Zerg opponent. On the other hand, we do have Orion. He is our Zerg, got off beating I Love OOV in the RO32, so someone to watch out for. His VP, about 50% here. Stats are okay overall as well, so should be quite the match for our Protoss. I would say this series can definitely go either way. So we'll have to see if JangBi is able to play PvZ like his PvT, or if Orion will take the win and advance to the next round. Game 1 about to start. Let's get things rolling. Blue Storm is the map. Fighting. So our blue Zerg on the top right is going to be Orion. And our purple Protoss bottom left is going to be JangBi. So we'll have to see how either player opens up on the map. We've seen Forge FE on the map can definitely work. Gateway FE can definitely work on this map as well, especially if you get the Forge in time for the can as well. Likewise for Orion, we'll have to see if he's going to go for the hats first or if he's going to go for something like an overpull. We've seen both of these as well. So it's hard to say what either player will do. Now JangBi is putting his first pylon down and looks like he will be going to scout Orion as well. So no 9 pull, anything from Orion as either. We do see what looks like there is nothing being made as well. This might be just a 9 pull in this case actually. Yep, it's a 9 pull, so the overlord wasn't even made. Now the probe will get into the base and will scout this, so this will give JangBi enough time to react. The question is, he hasn't moved any probe to make any gateways or forge or anything like that, and the pool is about halfway done. I do see a probe moving out, so this will give us a left intel as to what JangBi decides to do. Now I can see, yeah, the forge is going down, perfect. So the question is, will he have the cans up in time? The pool's about half, it's about 3/4 of the way done. It probably depends on several things. It depends on how fast JangBi gets the cannon down. It depends on Orion and just in terms of the links. So if he's going to get the links ASAP and then beeline to the main, or if he's going to try and deny the pro, because some pros will try and kill the scouting probe. Now we do see the forge is done and the links are being made, so the cannon should definitely be up in time, which is great for JangBi. And look, he's getting another cannon as well because he realizes there is quite a bit of Zergs are going to be coming in his way. Now, it'd be nice if he's able to block this, and it looks like he will block the hatchery just temporarily until the Zergs are out. So as you guys can see, he's basically just right outside of the range of the drone sometimes, and other times he walks right into it. But he's doing still a fantastic job denying it. That's nice and quite a nice denial for quite a bit. And he is going back as well to do a bit of scouting. Now the Nexus is down, and yeah, so Orion is doing the user's response, taking a third base. When you ride the Protoss is also expanding. You always typically want to be up a base as Zerg, and JangBi gets intent on this as well. So the probe has paid dividends so far. He has a great idea of what Orion is doing. And is the gas down for Orion? No, not yet. Okay, that also again gives him more time as to what Orion may be planning to do. So gas down. I do expect to see the core put down ASAP for JangBi once the gateway is finished. try and tech up to Stargate, because Stargate, in terms of coursers to scout, will make things a lot easier just to see what kind of tech that Orion would like to try go into. Oh, and we see a fourth hatch as well. So we'll have to see if he's going to be planning to try and just draw up heavily or just go for the aggression. And typically, my understanding is that if you go for like the 4 hatch, especially this early, that does seem to indicate that some kind of aggression maybe be planned. So we'll have to see if that means if he's going to go for a lot of Zerglings or if he's going to add like a den, especially with the probe now being dead, and then just go for Hydras, or is this going to be more just to help with the production? Now, obviously, no gas yet, so the hard rate isn't going to go down anytime soon. And another probe is out, so JangBi will be able to scout any shenanigans from Orion. So JangBi is really playing this well. I love the way he's trying to keep the probe alive, and his target is coming in. So I love JangBi's position in comparison to Orion's, but Orion is not doing too bad himself. So layers coming in, no doubt link speed is being researched right now as well. So we'll have to see if we're going to see a robo. Oh, okay, so there's a robo. So I wonder if this is probably going to be something that we saw in some of the other PVZs, which is something like just the usual, +1 speed lot with reaver support. Seems to be the typical at this period in time. One thing is, I didn't notice if the core was, or the forge was spinning, because I was typically thinking that +1 is coming in. There is a bit of Zerglings to defend this, but it looks like JangBi is going to be swinging to the third base, which is a great idea. Now, the question is Hydras are going to be popping out probably any minute, I would believe, from this hatch. So that will give JangBi some intel on the fact that the Hydras then is there. Now, he does do a great job with the defense there, or with the chasing away the Zealots. But if the plan of here is to basically hide the Hydras, oh, and the Hydras have been scouted as well. So now JangBi knows what he's up to. He may just throw down, a can or two, depending on how things are. Do we see the robotics bay as well? And we see the Evo as well, more than likely plus armor. And the Spire too. So speed should be done any minute now for the Zerglings. And with the scout, JangBi now does know the whole idea of what he is up against. So we'll have to see what his response is. But again, keep in mind with the Reavers, if that was his plan. And yeah, there's the robotics. With Reavers, he should definitely be able to hold against any mass Hydras or any kind of something like a Hydra bus, for example. Although Orion doesn't look like he made a ton of Hydras, more likely just for defense against the Corsairs at this point. One question is, he is getting the Spire, typically Scourge, but I do see a lot of Larva being pulled up, so I wonder if he's going to go for a mass. A Mutalisk plus Scourge, basically. Just remember, we do see speed is done on the Hydras. So this will definitely force JangBi to try and get a cannon or two up, because I believe he'll only have the single Reaver at this point. And I believe that might be what he's waiting for. Oh, and Barrow is done. This is really nice. So these kind of tactics, what Orion can do is definitely barrow a couple of Hydras near his expansion in the back. And then when JangBi drops in a Reaver, like with a shuttle, he can just unburr and target the shuttle or the Reaver ASAP. Typically, targeting the shuttle will ensure that the Reaver will go down eventually. So first Reavers out, expect a flood of gateways coming up. We see the first, second. We do see the Citadel of Adun, more than likely the speed upgrade for the Zealots, probably a Templar archive as well. That's usually like +1 Zealots with high Templars, also a good follow-up as well. Interesting enough, he only had just a single Stargate. He didn't get another Stargate. We've seen this variation from other pros as well. And I believe this might be the second Reaver, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, looks like it was 2 Reavers basically. The shuttle is safe, and the Corsairs should be coming back to clean this up. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe I almost looked like it was speed on the shuttle. I could be wrong there, but +1 is done on the Corsairs, so that is a nice upgrade that will make them even stronger against Mulisks if Orion decides to go for the Muta switch. 4th hatchery is going down, especially with the map control he has. It's not a bad idea. Now with the Reavers out and the Zals with having the speed soon enough, the 3rd can be established for JangBi, although there is quite a bit of Hydras out on the map now. And if Orion does decide to push into the 3rd to prevent from going up, JangBi has to have great targeting with the Reavers. Oh, but there is a nice Hydra trap there basically. So it looks like Orion's going to wait for JangBi to just walk or fly the shuttle on top. So he's going to have to be very careful and make sure he catches it. Archive is going down. So it looks like JangBi's plan might have been just to go with the robot to get the Reavers and then use that to help him expand and then go for the +1 speed lot with the High Templar army. Because he is getting Archives and Storm as well, and that would be extremely strong. But we do see quite a bit of Hydras, honestly. Oh, and the trap is actually caught from JangBi, so this is fantastic done for him. He gets 4 Hydras killed, and all of his are maintained. He does not want to lose these Corsairs though. He should honestly be pulling these back. It looks like he is actually quite distracted right now. If you lose your Corsair... Oh, and we see the Lurker's Lego X as well. I don't know if JangBi actually saw that. He might have been in range. He does have Observers though, so it should be okay. And he has Reavers as well. Oh, and oh, this is some... Oh, that was some fantastic scripts. And that is another fantastic... Well, that's an okay one. He does have the high ground, so this at least will give him a nice position here. And it looks like the probe will down there, but at least it does scout the bottom right base. So JangBi does know that the Zerg is only taking his 4th base right now. And speed is done. The 3rd is up. There is quite a bit of Zealots though, so these Lurkers, especially with good target, can do a lot of damage with the Hydras cleaning up. But there is 2 Reavers as well. A Storm is being researched right now as well, and we do have a couple gateways. And you can see even more and more Hydras. Oh, no, this is definitely bad. This was extremely bad. Oh, but we see the Lurkers are down. A lot of Hydras are going down. So from this perspective, I actually do like JangBi's position a bit more, only because he still has the shuttle and the Reavers are up, and those again are doing massive damage. But his +1 is finished. He is keeping the shuttle alive again. Just benefits. But there is more and more Hydra streaming in, so he should definitely at least pull a bit back. But I would say he should not be losing the high ground, because he could definitely get sent up by Lurkers up there. Now there is a couple of High Templars. Do they actually have Storm? Oh, and they have Storm as well. Fantastic Storm. The 2nd time is not too bad either. So this will cause the Hydra to retreat, but looks like those 2 Hydras had to merge because there's no more Storms. He has just the 1 Storm left, more than likely. We'll have to see what JangBi can do now. He is going to be partially contained. There is a DT that he slipped out, so he will at least be able to get a couple of drone kills at the bottom right base and deny the gas for a bit of time, which is not a bad... It is a nice win essentially for JangBi. You don't want to keep the Zerg... You don't want the Zerg to keep, getting more and more gas. Now, the shuttle almost got caught, but this was a nice maneuver on his part as well. So that's the 1st drone, 2nd drone. Oh, and he's going to get the drone transfer as well, if he's able to actually control the DT. Aha, but you can see Bear does have its benefits. Ooh! Oh, wow, that was a huge loss. Losing those Reavers is extremely bad, because those Reavers were important to helping JangBi basically push the Hydras back earlier on. I mean, he's still not in that. Oh, okay. I mean, there could potentially be this Reaver. Might have been an empty shuttle as well, or maybe it has some DTs or other units like a Storm. So still a loss nonetheless. Oh, and then you can see 7 kills, 8 kills, and this DT is also walking out. This was fantastic win from JangBi. Losing 8 drones and denying the 4th for so long, that's pretty huge for him, especially with him having the 3rd base. So eco-wise, he's actually on par with the Zerg, who is basically hasn't even gotten up to his hive yet. He's still on the lair tech. On the meantime, JangBi does have the upgrade advantage, I believe. No, looks like actually the Zerg has the upgrade advantage at this time. But JangBi does have Storms ready. One thing I would love for him to do, honestly, is for him to just try and match the upgrades at this point, because you don't want to be behind. Now this DD will be denied. There is a sunken here with the Overlord, but he may get a couple of drone kills. But looks like JangBi will not planning on this. Now, this army of JangBi can be quite fearsome. There isn't that many units on the high ground, so he can definitely break this, but he does need, honestly, a shuttle with the Reavers, because Reavers are, if you're able to maybe sit them, they can be extremely, extremely effective, especially with the ability to draw units into your, the cards into your units, stationed as shuttle, or into storms. But, we'll see what he has to do. Now, this GT is sneaking towards the 3 o'clock base. There is an engagement coming out outside the JangBi on the high ground. And it looks like he got a lurker, but he will have to pull. Oh, it looks like he's not pulling back, which is not a bad idea. The Reavers are pretty safe in the back. Now, this GT will be denied. So that's unfortunate for JangBi. There is a nice storm, though, and gets a lot of the hide into the low health. And he does have quite a sizable amount of army. So he can definitely push this. The question is, how much hiders does Orion have behind this? Because, like, he was finding the DT. We know he was making some drones early on because he lost a lot at his 4th base. And the bolters are still alive, and I see 26 kills between the both of them, which is fantastic for JangBi. It means he's doing a lot of damage. Hive is coming in now, 15-minute Hive. You can see the 4th doesn't have much drones on it. So it looks like there was a small group of units here that was trying to deny the potential 4th base of JangBi, but they will be caught and killed, so I don't know. Now, they are targeting the High Templars, so 2 High Templars, that is a mini win for Orion. But I don't know about losing this many Hydras for those High Templars, because you can dodge storms, but you can't remake lost Hydras, if that makes sense. But still, JangBi does have control of the game, although with the Hive coming in, once Crack is done, especially with the fires being added, he will be in trouble. So he should try and find a timing now to try and do some damage to the Zerg. Now, one point in JangBi's favor, again, as mentioned, Storm and Reavers will still do damage under Swarm, and they will have against the Lurkers and the Zerg, especially if you see Crack, like a lot of links coming in from Orion. But obviously, even with enough flings, you can definitely obviously overcome that. So it looks like 2-1 is done for JangBi. This is not bad. I'm seeing what looks like, was it 3-2 from the Zerg? Or maybe 3-1, it's a bit hard to say. So upgrades seem close, might be slightly in the Zerg's favor, if I read that properly. So it looks like JangBi might be trying to push down the middle as well as go for the storm drop in the main. So this could actually work extremely well for him. Oh, it's actually a DT drop. This is not even, that's not bad, but there is some detection there. Oh, and that was a fantastic storm drop as well. So a lot of drones are lost in the expansion, and the DTs are still alive. And also targeting the pool is a fantastic win. It's fantastic as well, because those DTs will more than likely kill it just before a lot of units make way. The shuttle is down, but the pool is going to go down. And this means no Zerglings for the next while. So this, again, will open up a bit of a timing for JangBi. And he is pushing down the main. I do see quite a bit of Lurkers on the ground, but there is Reavers and Storm. And with some good Reaver targeting, firing, he will be able to get those Lurkers down, basically. Now, he needs to, again, keep the Reavers alive. But there is quite a bit of units here from JangBi. So JangBi is breaking in down the middle. This will, again, give him a chance to attack the 4th base if he's able to maintain this. But it looks like he's actually going to go down all the way to the 6 o'clock base. Now, we do see quite a bit of Hydras and Zerglings. Oh, and I see a base at 6 o'clock from the Zerg that it will be going down. Okay, so that makes sense. We couldn't see that on the map earlier. Now, with JangBi, his main and XP are almost mined out. He did establish the 4th base, so he's on 2 bases mining in a bit. So he's not in a bad position. And he is going to be catching these Lurkers just as they burrow, and still has the Levers alive. Again, wins from JangBi. Beautiful storm as well. One storm over the Lurkers. That is not a bad storm either. And the Zayas are going to be... oh, and more and more fantastic storms as well. But there is a flank from the back as well. Now, the first lever is going down. Second lever is going down as well. So, I mean, he's gotten the Observer go down. So, on the one hand, he did kill a lot of the Zerg's army. On the other hand, he did lose quite a bit of his army, especially with some of the more expensive units. But he does have his 4th up. So, I mean, from the economical-wise, JangBi does have an advantage. From the perspective of army-wise, the Zerg is in a better position because, again, JangBi's army just kind of he lost his army, while the Zerg can remake the army faster. On that point, at least he is getting some drone kills, and he did get that nice storm. So economy-wise, obviously, Orion is in a worse and worse position. And even with the shuttle there, he is forcing pulls, and he might not even have a High Templar there, or the High Templar might be out of energy from the earlier storm. So this, just even this ploy by itself can do a lot of damage. Now I do see a Defiler Mound there, and this is where things can go bad for JangBi as well. I do expect the pool should have been remade. We see the spawning pool there as well. Oh, that was fantastic Storm as well. He's going to save the High Templar. No, he does not look like he's going to save the High Templar. And he's going to get a second Storm as well. Oh, fantastically done. Now he does lose a shuttle. But the shuttle play he has been doing has allowed him to build up his army again. And again, he has quite a bit of gateways, and that is quite a bit of Storm. Plus the Reavers are being remade as well. So JangBi is looking in a better position, and he will even deny the 2 lurkers there. And this is not enough, but there is quite a bit of hiders, but there is quite a bit of zealots there to close as well. And we did see the High Templars coming up. Oh, but this might be a big drop as well. If else it's a fake, but this is going to cause, yeah, there is an actual drop. So this is going to cause JangBi to come back, and there is quite a bit of hiders as well. Oh, and we have Swarm too. This is really getting really bad for JangBi. That is a beautiful Storm though. He needs another Storm. He needs another Golden Storm just on top of the hiders. They're all back. Oh, there is some beautiful Storms there, and I did see what looks like a Reaver pop out of the Robo, or at least get a head there. So JangBi should be okay to save this. And we don't even see a single gateway loss, so the defense is great. Looks like he kills the lurkers in the middle, so JangBi is doing fantastic on multiple fronts. In the meantime, Orion is struggling to keep his army now. So you can see things have flipped again. The army of JangBi is now quite formidable. He has the economy to back it up. He is taking the 12 o'clock base as well. Looks like something was lost there. I unfortunately don't recall what that was. It doesn't look like it's a gateway. But either way, JangBi is in a fantastic position, and he has established a 12 o'clock. Some cans are up, so this is going to put him further ahead. Now, the Zerg does have 6 o'clock, and keep in mind, this does give him a chance to start elevating units into the main of JangBi if he decides to do. And I don't know if JangBi knows about the 6 o'clock just yet, because he did deny it earlier on. So he definitely needs to keep trying to deny that, because the Zerg will eventually be stuck on the 1 base, because again, his first, second, and third bases are essentially almost mined out at this point. Oh, and that was a beautiful plague as well on the Zealots. Those things are going to start melting with the lurkers. Now there is 3 Reavers here. Oh, and that's another beautiful plague as well. Now JangBi does have a huge amount of units here. I don't see any lurkers, honestly. All I see is hires and Zerg, and this again does open up the path to a 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock is going to go down. With this base down, this also will mean 2 options. Looks like either Orion is going to try and defend this base, and he might actually try and do, or he might also try and trap JangBi's army in. The thing is, he doesn't have any use on the bottom, and there is, 3 lurkers here. There is, or 3 Reavers is Storm as well. And those are some fantastic Storms with the units walking in. So this army has been defeated. JangBi is looking even better and better, and the army of Orion has been reset once again. So what can he do? So JangBi is quite far ahead, even though his army has been reset. I do much prefer his position at this point, especially with the fact that he killed the 6 o'clock base. Oh, and we see the Reaver drops as well. So those... Oh, it looks like he's actually... Oh, he's not even targeting the drone, so I think he just dropped them. So it looks like he's targeting the drone now, so he does get the first drone. Oh, and he has Sazets as well. So Reaver is down, but you know what? He's going to get this hatch here as well, more than likely. Oh, looks like it's going to be close. No. So just in the nick of time, it's been saved, but the damage has been done. The damage has been done. Okay, so it actually looks like the Zerg is on 1-1 in terms of armor 1 and attack 1 in terms of melee. So in this case, JangBi is more than likely has the upgrade advantage. It's a little more clear in this case. He has to move back because of the Defiler, but he can at least snipe the little lurker there. And he does have quite a bit of goons. He does not want to lose the shuttle though. Oh, and that was some nice dodge on his part. Oh, but I'm not really sure what's with the maneuvering back, honestly. Maybe the Swarm is about almost done as well. Some beautiful Storms. Oh, wow. And that's what's fantastic Storm up at the top. And you can see there's 4 High Templars there. The Zerg army is melting yet again. He does not have the Observer, which is why the Zerg is doing quite a bit of damage. Or the Lurker is doing quite a bit of damage. But there is a chance for him to now to honestly push the bottom right. I feel like he should just push the bottom right, because once he kills that base, the Zerg will also have to GG. But he realizes he has an advantage. Oh! So I wonder if we missed like a run by of some sort there, because that actually has one down. Yeah, if he basically gets the bottom line, the game is over, but he likely doesn't want his 12 o'clock to be vulnerable as well as his top left, which explains why he went back and forth. Better to play it safe. Yeah, it looks like he's actually on what looks like 2-1. Now the Zerg upgrades are 2-2 for the range, so the lurkers are pretty well upgraded. Melee's only 1-2. And more sets are streaming out as well, but again, JangBi's army is... Oh, there's even 4 Reavers here as well. Yeah, and GG from the Zerg. Orion played well, but JangBi played fantastically overall. Just, you know, getting the economical advantage, going for a lot of those drops, and just doing really well in the majority of the attacks that he played. Well done. So it's 1-0 for JangBi. We'll have to get games to see what match 2 has in store for us. So let's get match number 2 started. Do or die for Orion, so he definitely has to win this. Map is Zodiac. Fighting. So we see our red Zerg at about 3 o'clock spawn. It's going to be Orion. And we see our greenish Protoss. It's going to be JangBi at the 9 o'clock spawn. So there is quite the fair distance from both of these players. And with the scouting pairs, looks like Orion will not be scouting JangBi first with that first Overlord. We'll have to see when he sends out the drone. I am interested to see if either player again will take advantage of the island base, because it feels like that this gets taken advantage of more with the turn players, because you can lift your CCs. Likewise, I'm interested to see if we're going to see a forge opener again from JangBi or a gateway first. Now spawn wise, aside from, I believe, the vertical spawns, if one was at 12 and 6, I believe these are some of the longest spawns you can have on the map, if I'm not mistaken. And looks like what JangBi is planning to do, looks like he's actually going to be scouting just to see if he needs to get a gateway up first or a forward, or he can go for a nexus first. I believe that's why he scouted right after the pylon. Now he's going to see that the Zerg is not there yet, and he will be scouting at the 3 o'clock next. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, a fort is up. And we see even a second probe scouting, so he really wants to know where Orion is, because again, if he does find out where Orion is and what he is doing, because of the travel distances on the map, this will give him a better chance of just, you know, going for a nexus before the cannon, basically. Or if he might need like double cannons, for example. Just like the last game we saw how he went for the double cannons ASAP when he saw the 9 pool. Now ZVP on this map is in Zerg's favors, 7-3. Sure, JangBi will have his work cut out for him. Forge is done. He will definitely be seeing that there is no gas and the pool just went down. So more than likely, I do expect him just to go for the Nexus ASAP and delay the cannon, basically. So the Nexus is going to be going down. This is well done by him. And we do see the drone cross scouting, or the drone going to the JangBi's location. So he will see the Nexus soon. So we'll have to see if he decides to change, or we decide to see if he's going to go for more aggression. Now we do see the gas is coming up as well. If you guys remember the last game, he did delay the gas quite a bit in comparison. So I don't think he'll be too happy though to see the JangBi's opening. Now, seeing as there is a Nexus, I do expect the third base for Orion to be taken soon. It'll be interesting to see where he takes it, because he has a couple different options as well, and the Zergans are now out too. So that drone is more than likely going to be taking a third base. Oh, and we see the gas is removed. Yep, that makes perfect sense. So basically, so it looks like he's taking the third base adjacent to the 12 o'clock. Not a bad position to take it at. Keep in mind, these bases do have 2 ramps to them as well. So it does mean that, you know, someone can pull the army in one direction, go up the other, or try and attack from both directions. So they're not as easy to defend in certain matchups. Lair is coming up at the expansion. And the gas is being mined again by Orion, but I'm not sure if it's a single drone or if he's up to 3 drones again. Now, one thing I would love to know is we didn't get to see how long he's been mining the gas for, but prior to this, I do expect that link speed should be on the way, should be being researched. In the meantime, the probe gets a lot of intel for JangBi, so JangBi again has a great idea of what Orion is doing. Now, will we see the Spire go down? Okay, yeah, looks like Spire is down. On the other hand, we did see the target going almost finished, or probably finished now. So I do expect the first cursor to be out. Oh no, it's not finished just yet, but the first cursor will probably be out shortly as well. So we should be able to scout this. And we see a quick 4th hatch as well from Orion. Okay, so both of them are playing this really, really well overall. Now, this small difference that we see is in the last game we did see the robo was faster. Now in this case we do see the the citadel is up and the 3 gateways. So it looks like it's going to be some kind of a speed lot High Templar attack, more than likely. Use probably the +1 as well. I just haven't taken a look at the force to see if it's spinning. Now this Corsair will scout everything, so again we'll give him an idea of what's going on. We do see the Hydrogen is being built in the back too, but the Corsair should be able to scout this and should see the Spire as well. The Spire is just about done, so Scourge probably should be popping out soon. Now, interesting to see more and more links coming out, so I wonder if what Orion has in mind. But it looks like JangBi will at least potentially get an Overlord. The Scourge should be very close to being done here. Yeah, he's going to get the Overlord. Should have enough time to just run away, basically. Yeah, so it looks like the +1 is spinning as well. So yeah, it looks might be just a +1 speed lot for now. But we do see actually a Muta out. That's interesting. We'll have to see if more and more mutas come out, if it's going to be just a flood of hiders all of a sudden. But it looks like this muta might have been honestly just more for scouting, or the other option is to use the muta to... Oh, but I'm seeing more and more mutas come out, so... And okay, you see some more hiders as well. So I mean, the thing is, 2 mutas don't do a lot of damage, but because with the Scourge, especially with the position they have here, they can do a lot of deny the mining. And you know, 2 Cursors basically can't keep up with the mutas, especially with the Scourge support. You essentially has to have more. Now speed is done. +1 is not done just yet. Oh, +1 is done now. So these guys are going to be more potent as well. So you can see they're chewing the Zerglings, but there is a lot of hires coming down JangBi's side, and JangBi does have to probably get up a cannon at least, from my perspective, because looks like it's going to be non-stop Hydra production, or more than likely non-stop from Orion. If JangBi is able to defend this though, and we see that he doesn't even have the Archive, he doesn't even have Storm or anything coming in, he'll be in a great position. Now the hires don't have speed just yet, and sniping this Overlord will definitely pay off for JangBi in a bit, but he's a bit contained now. He does have quite a bit of units here. He should probably honestly spread out his units. So that is a fantastic spread, but there's quite a bit of hiders here as well. He is making contact with them, but it is more and more honest, and he only has just the 2 cannons in the back. And honestly, Orion can definitely push this if he wants to. He has quite a bit of hiders here. So this actually looks like Orion is going to be taking our second game as well, and you can see even the pro pull as well. So JangBi is in trouble, and again, he's not making more and more cannons. So honestly, he needs to make more and more, but this looks like it's going to be quite the short game. So Orion more than likely will be taking this. Although the block from the Overlords does mean that JangBi does have a small bit of a chance, but the hires are walking up to his base, so this is going to be over very shortly. expect the GG very fast. So JangBi is doing a great job with the defense, but this game does look like it's going to be Orion's to take at this point. Yeah, and with the last Zealous being out as well, I expect the GG very shortly. Yeah, it's gonna come any minute now, especially with the pawns being targeted as well. And a lot of the props are basically dead, and unpowered gateways too on top of that. So it looks like Orion will be taking our second game. It's going to be tied 1-1 series. Well played by Orion. A couple cans also would have helped JangBi, but I think Storm or Reavers would have been better here. GG. So we're going to get into game 3 very shortly. So game 3, the third match, is going to be on Loki 2. Fighting. So the winner of this game will advance to the next round. Our orange Protoss at the 2 o'clock spawn is going to be JangBi. And our white Zerg at the 8 o'clock spawn is going to be Orion. Now this map is always only 2 bases, so scouting wise pretty straightforward. Keep in mind there is a bit of a choke in the middle of the map, so that does mean that certain units can't pass through, so they have to go around the choke. Likewise, that can also play a bit of that can also affect the outcome of this game depending what kind of strategies the players will go for. But Zealots as well as Zerglings should be able to pass through. We do see again the Pylon Scout from JangBi, and he will be obviously finding Orion first, so this will give him an idea of what kind of opening to go for. Now he's went for the Forge opening both games, so there is a chance that he will go for the Forge opening again here, or maybe next into Forge, depending on what he sees Orion is doing. Because again, there is a back expansion here, so Orion can definitely do something crazy like a 3 hash before pull if he wanted to. Not that I would recommend it on a 2-player map. The drone is doing a good job of denying information there. So we'll have to see how JangBi responds, but what this is basically doing is we see something with one go down, so it looks like, yeah, the force came down from JangBi. So JangBi realized he realized he's in the dark. He probably would have loved to go for the Nexus first, but he had to play it safe. We'll have to see what looks like it's another hatchet coming in. Oh, okay. So this might be some kind of like a speedling on potentially, or just like heavy speedlings, because typically as a Zerg you might as well get the hatchet in the back, right? But this hatchet is all the way out here, and this is more like the pull coming in. Oh, but you know what? There is 2 probes here. He's only going to kill this this drone here. This is going to give him a lot of intel. So once he sees this, I do expect that JangBi will just go for, you know, a couple of cannons, probably like 2 of them at the minimum, because he will basically have an idea of what is going on. And keep in mind, with his Nexus being up and the cannon defense and surviving it, then basically he will be able to get into a great, fantastic economical position. Now, I do feel like he probably would have been better off just sending off one of the probes back home and keeping another one, probably blocking the middle choke, because that will again buy more time. So oh, and we see. Oh, and he even gets the drone and escapes with the probes as well. So let's keep in mind that's 2 drones down compared to the true probes who are still alive and scouted this, as well as the fact that there's no more gas. So more than likely speed is kicking in. I just expect more and more speedlings coming in, which you can see the double cans are going up. The gateway is going to be finished, and the cans should be up in time for this. So my question is, what is Orion going to do? I mean, his strategy has been revealed. Playing for the macro game will also be tougher, especially once he scouts the Nexus. So is he going to basically try and cut his license and try and expand behind this despite it being scouted, or will he just try and go for, like, you know, build up the Zergling count, try and go for a huge push? So they will have to see what he uses in the live iron. I can see that the live aren't being. Oh, I see some lava coming in. We do so. Oh, and it looks like it's a 2-hatch Hydra follow-up. And honestly, it's not a better option. And the question is, how much does JangBi expect this? Because he doesn't have any probes back in the base. The last probe has been killed. He does have a nice block here, but the Hydra's can definitely range the cannons. And there's what, like the 12 Zerglings right now? Yeah, 12 Zerglings. Now I do see what looks like, I believe that might be a probe coming down basically. But the probe, there's no way for the probe to get information. So adding a third cannon is a great idea. Honestly, personally, if you feel like the Zerg might be playing from, might want to try and continue this, I don't even hesitate to add it. I don't believe James should have to add a fourth, because again, his Nexus is up. He is in a great position over from that perspective, so it's worth it to add in that fourth cannon just to be on the safe side, especially considering that he is getting his own Stargate tech. He got, you know, the Nexus right after the Forge, so the Nexus stood after the Forge. So it looks like the Hydra will be hit, but again, once that fourth cannon is up, especially with some probes or Zealots blocking, I think he should be able to take this game. But he is doing a fantastic job keeping the probe alive, and again, this just buys him more and more time, because having more Zerglings with the bust will pay off for Orion. The question is, does Orion know about the... Oh, actually, my bad. I think it's only 3 cannons. So, like, oh, and the Hydra is actually scouted. So, JangBi knows what is up here. And you can see basically automatically adding on the 2 cannons. So, I feel like, again, he should have added the 4th in. So, he does have enough. He should be able to survive, but it would be good to pull some probes as well. But this should be more than enough, honestly. Oh, it's gonna be, so yeah, as you can see, the first cannon is, oh, he doesn't even kill a cannon as well. Yeah, this is definitely a JangBi victory at this point. So it looks like 3 was actually more than enough. It feels like Orion sort of on target better though, because he basically started targeting the Zealots rather than having the Hydras for the cannons and the Zealots on the Zealots. And especially with the front, the only way that Orion can come back from this, or not even really come back, is to try and do damage, is to go for like a drop. But then he has Neil Lure Tech. And as you guys can see, he's still on the 2 hatches. He's just making non-stop hires. So he's probably going to try and go for one big frontal bust again. And he might just call it GG's at that point. But JangBi, wonderful position he is in. And especially with the Corsairs out, that means that no more information can really be hidden from him, because he can just fly over the base anytime just to see if anything has changed. On top of that, his Archives is done. More than likely, Storm is coming in. And you can see he's basically just adding more cannons, just, you know, an extra cannon or 2 just to be on the safe side, because he knows the situation he's in. And because he discovered the fact there is no lair, as long as he makes sure the Corsairs are near his mate to prevent any potential drops, it's not a bad idea. So again, great position he's in. So more gates coming in. We see even the plus was on the way as well, and as well as the DT. So once the DT gets it into the main, this game is more than likely going to be over at that point, because there is some detection here, but this is going to force Orion to even go back to his base. So he's going to fall farther and farther behind, especially with the fact that JangBi has a lot of defenses. And again, we did see the 3 gateways just finishing now. Speed is coming in. +1 should be finishing soon, if not already. So he'll have more than enough to deal with any kind of drops that might come in as on top of that. So it looks like he's going for another bust, but obviously nothing. He will get the 4. The question is how close. The question is how far away is the +1 from being done. Looks like it's actually going to sacrifice is it gonna get, oh, he does not get the overload, unfortunately. So the DTs basically can't push back the Hydras. But there is enough cannons here. So this is starting to look honestly more and more dangerous. Again, there's quite a bit of Hydras, but there is quite a bit of cannons as well. And we don't honestly, that's interesting. So we did a lot of Zealots. I do expect speed to be kicking in shortly. I don't believe +1 finished. And I think Orion's going to go for the big bust now, basically. So this might be do or die for him. question is also, where is Storm? I see speed is done for the Zealots. That is a plus for JangBi, so he can definitely make faster contact with the Hydras. More and more Gators are going up, and the Forge as well, because he can make more cannons. So it's going to come down to the how well Orion can engage this, but the bigger and bigger Zealot count means, especially with good control, means the better chance for JangBi to win this. Now there is 2 DTs here. JangBi can definitely... Oh, and okay, so here comes the Hydra Bust as well. He has to defend the cannons because the cannons are going to do a lot of damage, and the Hydra are going to be pushed back. And again, there is more than enough here. So, okay, so it is sunken in the main, so these won't do much damage, but honestly, there is enough Zealots here to contest these Hydras if JangBi wants to, but I think he's more than happy to just keep the Hydras coming back and forth because it's going to absorb... Oh, and the GG, and you can see it's quite a lot of drones also killed as well. Well played by JangBi, well played. He basically read the situation. The nice second probe to stop the drone from denying the scouting also was great, and with the intel he just played as well as you could. So JangBi will be our second Protoss to advance to the next round.